Back in 2015, James Dolan had a problem. The CEO of Madison Square Garden Entertainment sat down and sketched a simple circle with a stick figure inside, trying to rethink the future of live venues. He knew that traditional arenas are deeply flawed. They are essentially large, repurposed sports boxes. Because they were built to host basketball or hockey games, concertgoers are usually stuck with terrible sightlines, muddy acoustics, and absolutely zero visual immersion. At the time, major tech companies were pushing virtual reality as the ultimate immersive solution, but Dolan rejected that approach. VR isolates you in a dark, confined room, completely cut off from the crowd. He wanted to build a communal VR experience, a place where thousands of people could share a digital environment without strapping plastic goggles to their faces. That crude stick figure sketch represented a $1.2 billion bet on shared spatial reality. And Dolan aimed to build it in the most competitive live entertainment market on Earth, Las Vegas. To make VR without goggles work for 17,600 people simultaneously, engineers had to throw out the standard arena blueprint. The Sphere is actually a double sphere system. It features a dense inner concrete seating bowl, which is entirely surrounded by a separate freestanding outer steel diagrid. A diagrid is a framework of diagonally intersecting metal beams used to construct large buildings with less steel. Inside that concrete bowl sits the visual canvas. A continuous LED plane covering 160,000 square feet routes entirely over and around the audience's peripheral vision. It pushes a massive 16K resolution. 16K is a display format with approximately 16,000 pixels running horizontally, producing intensely sharp, lifelike detail. Then there was the audio problem. A dome shape is an acoustic nightmare, prone to massive echoes and dead zones. To fix this, designers installed 164,000 spatially aware speakers. Spatial audio is a technology that manipulates sound waves to make them seem like they are coming from specific 3D locations. This allowed the system to send highly targeted, isolated beams of audio directly to individual seats, giving every person in the room the exact same pristine mix. To achieve total sensory immersion, designers engineered the architecture itself to function as a massive, fully programmable instrument. But timing the construction of a hyper-complex technological marvel requires a bit of luck, and the Sphere ran out of it almost immediately. MSG broke ground just as the 2020 global pandemic paralyzed the world. Because the project relied so heavily on advanced electronics, it was acutely vulnerable to the sudden global supply chain crisis. Manufacturers simply ran out of the advanced microchips required to power the millions of LEDs. Logistics delays compounded the problem. Lead times for crucial materials stretched from weeks into months, while rampant inflation drove up the cost of specialized structural steel and custom data processors. What started as an ambitious, calculated $1.2 billion vision morphed into a grueling logistical trap. It was in real danger of becoming an unfinished monument to billionaire hubris. This chart shows the original $1.2 billion estimate side by side with the final, staggering construction cost of $2.3 billion. As you can see, that price tag visually dwarfs other modern Las Vegas megaprojects. Wall Street and the media were intensely skeptical. Analysts openly questioned how a single live entertainment venue could ever recoup a $2.3 billion investment. The pressure peaked in September 2023. The rock band U2 took the stage for the venue's debut, tasked with proving to a highly doubtful public that this untested, massive technology actually worked. The hardware was flawless. The visuals and audio performed exactly as promised. However, keeping the lights on meant the company had to invent a radically new business model to pay down its massive debt. Traditional arenas are surprisingly inefficient businesses. They host a concert or a game at night, but they sit completely dark and empty during the day, generating zero revenue. The Sphere bypassed that problem by running a side-by-side economic engine. By day, an immersive movie theater. By night, a concert residency venue. The ultimate proof of this cinematic concept arrived with their Wizard of Oz activation. This line graph tracks the ticket sales for that specific activation, comparing the rapid accumulation of $260 million against the slow plateauing gross of a standard arena tour. By selling 2 million tickets in a short window, the show rivaled major Hollywood blockbusters, but it did so without the overhead costs of moving a touring band from city to city. By transforming a live venue into a high-throughput digital cinema, the Sphere bypassed the physical constraints of touring artists. This turned a massive architectural liability into a continuous source of revenue. The economic ripple effect quickly spread across the Las Vegas market. The venue's draw drove massive spikes in international tourism and allowed surrounding properties to charge premium hotel rates. The building even integrated itself into global mega events. During the Formula One Grand Prix, the venue leveraged its exosphere for high-value advertising takeovers right on the track. The exosphere is the fully programmable 580,000 square foot LED shell covering the outside of the structure. Now, the company is shifting its long-term corporate strategy. Instead of operating a single Las Vegas asset, they plan to franchise a global network of spheres to leverage their proprietary library of digital content. Their immediate expansion plans include developing a smaller-scale venue in the Washington, D.C. area, alongside a massive new development in Abu Dhabi. James Dolan's stick figure sketch survived a gauntlet of construction crises to establish a highly profitable, exportable template for the global experience economy.